Hello, and welcome to the third installment of this week's series of 5-Minute Connects looking at the prayer life of the Apostle Paul. Now, for today, I want to look at how Paul's meditation on the sovereignty of God, it impacted his diligence to pray, not just his desire to pray like we looked at yesterday, but it impacted his habitual, ongoing commitment to prayer. Now, we all know that there are commandments in the Bible that call us to constantly be in prayer without ceasing. The question is, what causes us to do that with a joyful and willing heart and not just out of sheer obligation? Well, for the Apostle Paul, it was, again, his meditation on God's sovereignty over every aspect of his salvation, including the salvation to come in eternity future, his glorification, when God will purify him completely and make him as God is, perfect, sinless, flawless, complete. Now, for Paul, this is what drove him to pray without ceasing. It was because of his dependence upon God. And he was only dependent upon God because of his theology. Again, as Paul has been summing up the salvation, there is some aspects of salvation that is yet to be complete. And that is his inheritance to be received in the end and the final redemption, as he refers to in verse 14, the view of the redemption of God's own possession to the praise of his glory. That's why in verse 16, he does not cease giving thanks for the Ephesians while making mention of them in his prayers, because he is pressing into God, not as a spiritual mechanic for an emotional tune-up, not as a divine therapist just to get thoughts off of and emotions off of his chest, but to press into God as his Lord, as his Savior, as his King, completely reliant upon him, knowing that if he is going to make it to the end, it is only because of God. And Paul is confident that he's going to make it to the end because of God's omnipotent hand of grace. So, Christian, why are we to pray every single day, diligent in prayer? Because of our needed reliance upon God and his might to secure us to the end. Remember that. Remember that our salvation is not yet complete. The work that God began is not yet finished, and he will finish it, but that must mean that we press into him every day, holding on fast and trusting that God will, and knowing that God will secure us and he will hold us fast to the end. Join me tomorrow as we look at the depth of Paul's prayer and how Paul's meditation on the sovereignty of God impacted not just why he prayed, not just when he prayed every day, but what he prayed. I'll see you then.